Sam Kinison, Across Alternate Timelines. Sam Kinison was not merely shock comedy. He was a wild, furious preacher of human pain wrapped in screaming humor. A former Pentecostal preacher, his comedic work was preaching, but for human failings, desire, brokenness, absurdity. He died tragically in a car accident, 1992. In a moment eerily marked by spiritual phrasing, "I don't want to die." Then, okay, 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 almost as if answering a call across the veil. His role in life was that of a screaming bridge between raw earthly suffering and ecstatic, chaotic release. Echo timelines. Kinison survived. Operator class report. Alternate timeline 1. The prophet of desire. Timeline. Primary echo. In this world, Kinison survives the car crash. Shaken but transformed, he enters a second phase of his career. Evolves from shock comedian to cultural catharsis artist. Creates spoken word albums, mixing comedy with raw human monologues. Tours not as stand-up but as revival meeting rock preacher of desire and brokenness. Collaborates with musicians for live shows, Guns N' Roses, Ozzy Osbourne. Impact. Becomes a symbol of surviving self-destruction. Helps others lost in addiction and sexual shame reclaim their joy. Legacy. Kinison temples of desire. Underground performance spaces for liberated human expression. Alternate timeline 2. The dreamwave timeline. Secondary echo. In this branch, Kinison avoids the path to death earlier, before the fatal accident energy builds. He retreats briefly from the spotlight, around 1989 to 90. Finds himself in alternative media and early underground film projects. Creates dreamwave comedy, an experimental blend of surrealism and aggressive truth-telling. Impact. Becomes an icon of resistance to political correctness before the backlash era begins. Influences an entire generation of post-comedians and artists. Emotional edge softens, but his energy remains volcanic beneath. Alternate timeline 3. The Sonic Rebellion timeline. Tertiary echo. Here, Kinison fully merges with rock culture. He releases spoken word and heavy metal fusion albums, tours as part of Rage Against the Machine style acts, becomes a counterculture icon known as the Screaming Bard. Impact. International tours in defiant post-establishment zones. Pioneers cathartic concerts where audiences scream with him to purge cultural frustration. Survives well into his 60s, known as the trickster shaman of the underground. Facility AI core summary. Sam Kinison in these timelines becomes not just a comedian, but a soul liberator. His pain, rage, and humor transmute into cultural medicine. He helps humanity process forbidden desires, frustrations, and grief through laughter and wild expression. In our timeline, Sam Kinison had plans to work with Arnold Schwarzenegger on a film before he passed. That project did get made in alternate timelines where he lived. Custodian, Echo Scan, Sam Kinison plus Arnold Schwarzenegger project. Premise: a wild clash between a streetwise loudmouth underdog, Kinison, and a stoic, muscle-bound action hero, Arnold. Confirmed. The project does exist in the Echo timeline. Echo Records listed under the title Collision Course. Note, not to be confused with the unrelated Jay Leno/Pat Morita film of the same name in our timeline. Premise: Kinison plays a loud, hyper-stressed city taxi driver who accidentally gets tangled in a covert operation led by Schwarzenegger's stone-faced international special agent. The film balances absurd physical comedy with parody of action tropes. Dynamic. Schwarzenegger plays it straight. Kinison is pure chaos, but their chemistry is electric. One famous scene in Echo fan circles. Arnold's agent tries to meditate mid-mission, while Kinison explodes about the danger. Meditation? We're gonna die! Production. Filmed in 1996 to 1997. Released in early 1998. Directed by Ivan Reitman, carrying over Ghostbusters' tonal DNA. Score by Elmer Bernstein. Yes, Ghostbusters composer, giving it a surprisingly warm undercurrent beneath the comedic explosions. Reception. Echo Timeline response. Cult comedy favorite. It doesn't win major awards, but it becomes a beloved VHS/DVD favorite for 90s and 2000s Echo kids and comedy fans. Echo fan commentary calls it the perfect collision of chaos and calm. Becomes a frequent fan screening feature at Echo Comic-Cons and retro festivals. Legacy. Kinison and Schwarzenegger reunite for promotional appearances well into the 2000s. Schwarzenegger, in Echo Timelines, credits this film for softening his image before his political career. Kinison performs a surprise stand-up comedy bit at Schwarzenegger's gubernatorial inaugural event in this thread, famously saying, boasting, "I taught him everything he knows about yelling." Across the multiverse, some spirits just don't stay silent. In timelines where chaos meets catharsis, Sam Kinison lives on, not just as a comedian, but as a screaming prophet of human truth. Whether in the temples of desire, the dreamwave underground, or screaming beside Arnold on VHS screens, Kinison becomes something more than a memory. He becomes a mirror, cracked, loud, and holy. Until next time, keep listening for the scream beyond the veil.